Yep.
All right. Are you ready and alive and awake?
Nearly. Need to come up with a shaka.
Well,
Not
like
shaka.
something to get you motivated.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Adrian Brody! There we go.
All right. That was loud.
That's my war cry.
Where was that? It doesn't matter. Let's just go.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something to be fucking do.
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody! You've got
What's that?
some grips that thinks they're tigers.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Why?
It's a clamp.
Why
I
is
needed
it-
a clamp.
You
That's
needed
the
a
one I
tiger?
had. It's just a clamp from Homebase.
Yeah, but it's a tiger.
I'm guessing that's why they've closed down now.
The home base is closed down because you went in?
Because, well, partly.
No. Yeah.
So because they sell shit like that.
We're tigers.
Yeah.
I
I'll
bought
give you a
gor-
clamp, but only if it's got wildlife on it. Like, you're a hardware store.
I got gorilla tape from home base a while ago.
That's the thing, and that suits you, I think.
Yeah. Very strong and
It's
very
exactly what I need. And gorillas.
good. Yeah. That had tiger print on it as well. Maybe that's a home base thing.
Gorilla Tape's a brand.
Oh, is it?
They're, yeah.
Why are they orange?
Don't know. Gorillas.
Who
black.
knows?
Duct tape. Black.
Orange?
But
We want to stand out. All right, nothing stands out more than an orange gorilla.
yeah.
Oh, wait, orangutans.
Ginger Gorilla. Yeah, yeah. Ginger Gorilla sounds like
take
a
it
craft
all
beer.
back. You're a craft beer guy, aren't you?
I-
Lawn mowers, parenting, all the stupid names.
No, in fairness, I've been getting more into ale recently.
Yeah.
Because I used to just if I went out for a pint, it was lager, and if it wasn't lager, I just wasn't drinking.
Okay.
And
You stopped Strongbow now? I remember years ago Strongbow was your thing.
that was a uni thing. That was before I
Right.
liked any kind of beer.
Right.
I never used to like the taste of beer. I don't think you're meant. Beer's like when you first have it. It's like cigarettes. It's like it is meant to be unpleasant. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone likes beer when they first drink it. It took me
Yeah.
a long time.
Well, there's a lot of
And now I
stuff
love
about those kinds of drugs that are depressants that you're meant to have a bad time when you're doing it,
Yeah.
and that's a weird concept for a child. When you're a kid, you're like, sugar, everything's great, let's go running, and then you
Yeah.
become an adult, you're like, fuck all of this.
Yeah,
I've had a horrible day, let's make it worse,
yeah,
and then you start drinking.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's already been
Becomes
bad. Then I don't
Yeah.
need to enjoy this. I just need to be drunk.
And alcohol's just more middle-aged, isn't it? Because it's a depressant. It stops you from... Well, some people it makes them more active.
It is a depressant.
But chemically...
chemically, it's a depressant.
it's preventing you from having a better time.
Yeah.
Chemically.
yeah,
But it's also preventing your morals from having a good time,
Mm.
which balances it out, maybe.
yeah. Cheers.
Yes. Well, I'm probably going to end up blurring my face out because I tried... I've been so fucking sick.
You tried building, and it
Yeah.
didn't work.
I've been like roughing it for like 5-6 days.
Yeah,
of
we
just
are recording
horrendous.
4 days later than usual.
Yeah, because I was like, right, I can't. I'll try and do it on original day. No, maybe next. No, maybe no. And now I'm just like, right, I've emerged from my
Yeah.
bedroom and
I'm
house.
here because I have to be here. Because if we don't do it now,
yeah,
like the show will end.
yeah. Well, we'll be like, well, we had 100-something episode.
Yeah,
That was fine.
Way to go! It was a good run.
Yeah, but stepping out into the seeing my reflection for the first time in like a week, and I was like, oh my god, like all the vomiting, nausea, fever, shit,
Yeah,
chest infection just fucks up with my whole body. So it was like, okay. Then I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh, I'm just dried and fucked. So I tried makeup. I used
Yeah.
to do it when I was a kid. Well, uni. That was my uni thing. You had cider. I had self-esteem.
I,
Self-esteem issues. I don't know.
yeah, so I'd run long hair,
concealer and stuff. Yeah.
and you had gradually shorter hair,
Yeah.
and then
Violently short in the second
and then
year.
violently short. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were the first violent short one. Mine was done out of yours was done kind of out of spite for your own hair. You're like, fuck it, if you're going, I'm taking you out.
No, well, it was just like I didn't want to have, and that people get stressed about their appearance.
Yeah.
I've never really been like that, but it was one thing. That was another thing I had to think about before I went out. It was like, oh, I'll do my hair,
Yeah.
and then it was getting thinner anyway. So I was like, well,
Yeah, you
it
hadn't
becomes
lost
more
your
of a
hair when you
concern.
shaved it off.
no, and it was like shoulder length or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck it, screw it, and then
Yeah.
decided to do that.
Whereas I'd found myself. It's so fucking weird. I found that I was getting self-conscious when I was like climbing stairs and things. You know, like in stairwells where there's someone above you.
Right.
So, and that was really the only situation where they can see down on top of your head.
Okay.
I was getting self-conscious about shit like that.
You're like limboing upstairs.
And then about seeing like my hair going thin and everything
Right.
like that. But then eventually, when I was just like, just shave it off, like suddenly there's no self consciousness.
The world opened up to you. You could go up as many stairs as you wanted.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I had zero self consciousness about being bald. I had self consciousness about being slightly bald.
Yeah, I don't want to build. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd rather
I
be
think it's
all or
because
nothing.
I don't want to give away the impression that I'm trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. Like you don't want the whole Donald Trump thing where you're giving yourself a weave
Yeah.
to hide a bald spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Is that just nosedive for you?
Yeah. Let's try. So, makeup. Did makeup.
Yeah.
But I haven't done makeup in a very long time. So, like, I just painted my face white, apparently.
You just
and
put too much on.
Yeah, I tried to conceal my entire soul. Just disappear from the world. So I ended up being bright white, and now there's still patches of white and patches of the stuff that I was trying to cover with white. So this is raw. This is real Nick with a bit of white.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Not that you care, but
Yeah.
it looks fine.
Yeah, it was only just, I got I said, get proper dried out skin with loads of random shit, but especially more so because of this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, sensitivity aside, how's your week been?
It's been all right. It's been pretty good. Business meetings and things picking up
In your house?
slowly. Arranging them, not actually having them this week. Not in my house this time. So at their place of
Business?
I was going to say worship for some reason.
The Worship Bakery.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just good, productive.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all very good. So I start shooting for one client next week, and then I've got a meeting with another one that weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's that thing of like do things until it starts to snowball.
Yeah.
It's still I still wouldn't describe it as snowballing, but it's definitely a more positive place than I was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's more so than before.
Yeah.
It's technically a snowball, I guess.
It's a lumpy, uneven snowball. Doesn't quite roll down the hill.
It's a coconut.
Coconuts roll. It's a cube. It's a snow cube.
It's an ice cube, just slowly melting. Right. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Things going well, and then the sun came out, and everyone went fucking mental.
Did they?
Yeah, like just
Across the country or just here?
For some reason, there's something about the sun coming out that makes people wear things in places that they deem as appropriate, when at any other time they wouldn't.
Like a balding man climbing a staircase.
Sort of.
Yeah, right. So what will be inappropriate clothing?
So,
A live raccoon.
no.
But yeah, that's pretty inappropriate.
Well, it depends where you are.
No.
Maybe not. No, like if so,
So what's inappropriate? Yeah.
In stores wearing very little clothing, and I guess these are the kind of people that also go to the shop in their pajamas first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And I'm not about body shaming and or anything like that, but I recognize what is and isn't flattering on myself, and I will wear flattering things in order to make sure other people are comfortable, I guess. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I wouldn't go into.
Would you wear a shirt that says "Kill all the Jews"?
No, probably not.
Isn't that not flattering enough?
Probably.
Just because that would obviously not put others at ease.
No matter how hot it was, I wouldn't go to One Stop in a bathing suit.
No, because you think other people would be uncomfortable.
I would be uncomfortable. Like that's
right. So that I understand. That I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're saying that you can do it, you're not going to do it for other people's sake.
I think that's. To be honest, I think that's my own anger kind of about it coming out, because I'm just like, well, if you've got no shame, at least like give a shit about what I think.
Let me shame for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so skin. You're not a fan of skin.
I don't.
Slowly boxing you chess match into a corner of like, what are you saying?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's awkward. It's an awkward conversation to have,
well, I think, like,
about the way that people look. But I know the way that I look, where I carry weight and etc. like that, and what isn't pleasant for other people, regardless of what kind of body shaming, anti-body shaming world that we live in. Like, some things are and are not pleasant, and but I would assume that most people have the ability to see that honestly within themselves, not in a horrible way, not in a derogatory way, not in a way that where they're walking around putting themselves down, but like just
right. Well, to give
the shovel.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'll grab this shovel. Yeah. So when we were at uni, I remember muffin tops were quite a disturbing thing for us, right?
Yes.
Right. And back then, I think we were. I don't know. I genuinely don't care anymore. But I think it's like it's the intention of it for me.
Yep.
If they're doing it because if people are dressing inappropriately for attention, I'm very much like, ugh, that's off-putting to me. But if that's just what they're wearing, then I'm like, that's totally fine for me.
Yeah.
Like, you could be completely naked in a store and I'd be like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if they're doing it because, ooh, look at me, I'm naked in the frozen aisle, I'd be like,
see,
okay.
that's what that's what it feels like. It doesn't.
My nipples are stuck to a frozen pepperoni pizza.
It feels like people who aren't kind of self-aware.
Yeah,
maybe,
and they should be ashamed.
No, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, I think what you said was apt is that you're talking about yourself.
Yeah,
and that's why it's kind of crumbling. Is because you're saying about other people and it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, you would be embarrassed if people were looking at you disapprovingly. Yeah. in a shop because of like what you're wearing. Or because of something like that. That makes perfect sense. I think that's what you're saying. It's
I think that's I think that's probably more about right.
Yeah, you see somebody like dressed in fashionable clothing that is unappealing to you, and you feel unappealing to everybody, and you're like, why aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Conform!
I would be ashamed.
Conform!
I wouldn't wear that. Yeah. So I'm wearing makeup, but I'm not because I washed it off because it didn't work on me.
There's a sheen medicine about you.
A sheen is a Michael.
Thin sheen.
Okay. It's a Tiger Blood or something.
Yeah.
It was Charlie. Michael got overshadowed by Charlie.
We did with our generation, yeah.
Do you reckon he's still alive in the minds of the elderly?
Michael Sheen.
Yeah. There was just the thing about like, oh, he's in Wall Street with his dad.
There's definitely a film in that, like Michael Sheen living in the minds of the elderly.
like Ghost Dad. Ghost Sheen. And it's just Michael Sheen trying to go around and manage Charlie Sheen's incredibly insane life. So sickness aside, went to Stoke Con Trent, which I still have trouble saying because
it's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I get the wordplay of the text, but it's weird to say.
People bitch about Comic Con like that as well because it's not Comic Con, it's Comic Con.
Yeah, but that's obviously that makes sense. You know, you're talking about Comic-Con.
Yeah.
When you say Comic
But
Con
if you
or
say
Comic Con, if you say Stoke-on-Trent,
yeah,
they're like like Hanley.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the venue. But yeah, went there. The first ever con. If it is a con.
Yeah.
But yeah, first ever con. It was quite fun.
Your first
Quite
ever.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're 8th, I think.
Yeah, but that's cheating because they do like. It's not
a bunch of cheats.
When someone says that, it's like, oh, there's been 8 of them. It's like it's not been running for 8 years. They do like 3 a year.
Okay.
So it's only been a couple of years.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. It was cool. People were fun. Tried out recording. It was all right.
Yeah, looked good. Star wipe.
Yeah, lots of star wipes. I was just like, fuck, if I'm doing any transitioning, it's going to be star wipe. Yeah, try and played around with the editing and stuff. And yeah, it was quite fun, quite interesting. It's just weird. You forget how much this is a performance, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But it's not a performance. It's just a passionate conversation.
Yeah.
That gets ignited, that kind of sparks the performance side of our personalities. So you kind of forget that, like, oh, I'll do all these kind of things at the event, and then you're like, I'm not shy by any means, but I don't want to be rude to anybody. So like, there's like certain jokes that I would like to make, or like things I like to scream at. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to.
Don't scream at the owl.
Yeah. Well, there was a Groot thing there, and I was like, oh, that would have been a really funny thing to like lay into it, and about how much I hate it and all that kind of jazz. But then like, well, this guy's spent time making it, and he's just showing it to everybody, and then there's this bald guy coming around.
Yeah,
you
look
shit,
at this
Groot.
Yeah.
Which I think could work, and I think everyone could understand. But yeah, it was my first time going out and doing things other than walking around Stoke talking to myself. Yeah. So it was like, slowly build back up to it and get into that mindset when you're out in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. People were like totally up for chatting and talking to people and all that kind of stuff. It was fun. I'm tempted to do a booth. I think that could be such a good fit.
Yeah.
A podcast table.
Yeah.
Where we podcast the event. Chat
all
to
day.
People. Or like, yeah. It's like 6 hours. It's nothing.
Talk.
We can have a break.
To you.
Yeah.
All day.
But like have people in off the floor, talk to the other traders.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Take breaks, obviously. But yeah, like could do like 2 hours, an hour episode each of just chatting and talking about stuff. Hanging around, do merchandise or whatever.
It's like a Steven Crowder thing with a sign. We want to chat with you. Change our mind.
Yeah. It just seems like,
You're
that
right.
would be quite fun.
We don't want to talk to you.
This was a terrible idea. But yeah, it felt like it was. That feels like that could be quite a fun thing to think about. Anyway,
yeah.
I think that'd be interesting.
It would be. It would be the only podcast booth. We wouldn't be competing with anyone. No one else is.
Well, just for the fun of it.
Booth their podcast.
I think people have done it before. I think, but in that, it just felt like instead of going around trying to talk to people to promote their stuff, be like, "Hey, we're here." One, podcasting is really easy to do. I think the only difference that we've had is we've invested a little bit more in equipment.
Yeah.
I think that's the only difference between us and other people. And we've got a bit of experience with techie stuff, like very little. Because I see loads of people like talking about, we've mentioned before about other people editing podcasts saying there's loads of stuff you need to do. And I think it's just down to equipment, like people using USB mics and no mixers. Like, oh, there's all this background sound. It's like, well, we just use a mixer and that kind of helps everything. We can turn up levels, turn down levels, and the equipment kind of accommodates that, and it's really easy. We don't do anything like that. So I think as we had a booth, but hey, people like podcasts, come over to us. We'll chat about podcasts all day. We'll chat about films and the con, all that kind of stuff, and just get to know people at these events. Because, watching the video footage back when I was editing it, I never considered myself a nerd in any way, or even like that much of a geek. But the fact that I got all the references there, and was the way that I was talking, trying to be pleasant to people. About it.
That was interesting.
Yeah. It was just like, this is very much a community that I'm probably part of. Yeah. But just, more mature, I'd like to think, but probably not.
It's just different levels. Because I'm the same. I'm the same way. Like, I don't, I don't really go mad deep on any of the Marvel stuff or Like
that was the worst part. Was there's people dressed as things that I recognised.
Yeah.
With children dressed as things that I didn't recognise. So like, and like things I just don't quite get. Like, is it Scarlett Johansson in Marvel Universe? She's someone.
Black Widow.
Is she Black Widow?
Yeah.
So Captain America was there with his daughter. And like, I think that's who she was dressed as.
Oh, right.
But I didn't want to be like, hey, Captain America, and who the fuck are you supposed to be? I just couldn't quite get those bridges.
Yeah.
But plenty of people to talk about stuff that I think was good. Like there was Idraig, which is a Vikings reenactment thing in Stoke. So I got chatting to them about similar stuff with LARP, and they're like, well, my real axe could defeat your plastic shield. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
It's a
people
fair
doing
point.
interesting things that we also do, but with the problem is, especially, and the same with podcasts, everyone's just very introverted
Yeah.
and kind of secluded about everything. And the purpose of stuff like these cons is to bring those introverted, secluded people who
All
aren't
in
aware of
one
everything.
place.
Yeah.
So they can try and talk to each other.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, and I think that's the part that I don't have of that community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go out and do stuff. So I think, yeah, it could be a good meeting point. Just an interesting experiment, I think. Chat with it's one thing to go around chatting to people and like coming into, hey, how's it going? And another thing to be like, hey, come down, sit down. It'd be great. Like there was like a load of celebrity guests, but yeah, celebrity guests there. Like some of the cast of Only Fools and Horses was there.
Cast of Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
Are most of them dead?
Boise and his wife.
Oh, fair enough.
Marlene.
Yeah,
they were there.
He looks like a knockoff John Cleese, doesn't he?
Maybe.
Or does he still?
Yeah, probably.
I seem to remember him.
But yeah, like we didn't want to interview them because one, I'm not that fascinated, and two, it's like they're there to promote stuff and try and sell things, so didn't want to take time away from them or anything.
Yeah.
But we got talking to some of the staff there instead, like bodyguards and the people handling the money. It's like, so what do you do here? Like, I'm just watching the money, mate. Like, all right, you having fun? Do you like podcasts? And that was the other thing. I've never really promoted in person the podcast very much. It's very difficult to do.
It's a strange thing to do.
Yeah, which is easier if it's like come to our booth.
Yeah.
Because we just want to meet more like-minded people and get a conversation going. I got a message from another UK-based podcast today.
Right.
That's tempted to. I put out like a shout out to be like, any UK podcasts want some friendly competition or some ridiculous banter or whatever, ages ago.
Yeah.
And this messaged me to say, oh, we're up for it, so I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, just kind of getting things.
Javelin competition.
Oh yeah, discus. Yeah, so I think the
Jousting.
It sounds so much like self-promotion that we want to do. It's really not. It's just I just want more fun things.
Yeah,
let's do more fun things.
Well, more fun happens when more people are listening. That's the thing.
Well, and just more people. Again,
more people are involved. It's more brains on a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trying to get out and do stuff. And yeah, the Comic-Con thing was fun. I think do similar stuff. Trying out equipment when I was doing it as well as trying to edit, which I'd never really done before. It kind of worked. The Tascam thing was okay.
The audio recording.
Yeah, the audio quality was great, but the interface is a bit strange. Like you don't know when you're recording really, unless you like turn the microphone upside down and check it every now and then. There's no like difference. So there's a few audio mistakes that didn't get covered.
Okay.
Which sucked. But yeah, it was all fun. Fun week. Apart from being infected and being ghostly white sheen.
Yeah.
It's been fine.
White sheen.
Yeah. But yeah, all good.
All good.
Missed out on some audience participation last week just because we got filled up. We kind of got busy. So before I forget, there's been some emails that came in. No video from me this week either, just because I've been too sick to do anything.
I was going to say, yeah, we do normally have an email.
Yeah, I just did. My brain's been so... my fever broke like last night. And so I was just like, okay, now my brain's kind of back, but I'm backlogged of life. So don't have that clip. But did you know... Right. You know Pepe the Frog?
Yes.
Had loads of controversy because that was the racism flag.
Oh, yeah,
the white supremacist flag.
It was conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah, racists.
Then it became the OK symbol.
Oh, yeah,
that's
which was a hoax.
And that's P. Well, they were both hoaxes, apparently.
Yeah.
by 4chan,
Yeah.
which is a thing, apparently. I've
Yeah.
never paid... I know it's a professional trolling
I had
thing. I don't
friends
know.
that used to use that, and they spoke to each other.
Used to use... As in, what is it, like a Reddit thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They spoke to each other using words and references that I didn't even want to learn. Like, it's... You feel... If you're not involved and you talk to people who are involved in 4chan, you feel so excluded. Like, more so...
Right.
But it's almost repulsive to watch them communicate with each other.
Why?
I don't know.
It's like they're wearing a swimming costume.
I don't know. It's like someone in real life saying "lol."
Right.
It's
okay.
that kind of shit. But it's everything that they say.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry
No,
on.
no, I genuinely don't know what it... And I've heard of it, and I think it's
Yeah.
a professional trolling thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they came up with these things and spread them, and then slowly people accept them as real.
Mm.
And then it gets confused. And like, what?
Yeah.
No, it's not real. We were pissing about.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 how you fell for our magnificent trick kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they did Pepe, and then they did the OK symbol, which again doesn't make any sense to me. Because that's a W. I can see the W with the three fingers.
Yeah.
But the P is an O.
Yeah. Or it's upside down.
Is that... You can't do that.
I don't know.
No. But anyway, now it's clowns.
Oh, yeah.
Clowns are white supremacists.
Yeah. Honk. That's the thing
Is it?
with it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Honk honk or something like that. That's racist.
Stupid.
They're the racists. Well, yeah, someone emailed me and said, you know that clowns are racist now. I was like, oh, okay. Fair enough.
Clowns, multicolored clowns, big rainbow wig clowns, racist.
You know, the source of joy.
All the colours of the racist.
Running down protesters.
Yeah.
Was that...
Thousands of them in one car. Racist.
Bloody racist. We can never get too many racists in a car. I'll tell you that much. Well, that was that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't understand how other people ingest information.
Yeah.
Is basically the moral of that story. This guy like, oh, well, if he's wearing a special pin, then that... Like, there's a couple of other ones, wasn't there? There's 88, which is like a white supremacist tattoo that was in Homeland briefly, and they were like, 88, HH, the eighth letter of the alphabet twice, Heil Hitler. That means you're a white supremacist.
What?
Jesus Christ!
Oh.
I get that you want to, if you believe in a cause of whatever kind, you want to
Yeah.
wave a flag in some way.
That's
So
a
have
very
a secret
small
code here
flag.
and there. The other one apparently is 14 words. Do you know what 14 words is?
Oh, is that a saying? 14 words?
Yeah.
No.
That's another white supremacist thing, where it's like a sentence from a book.
The same word 14 times.
Die. No, it's like, I think it's a quote from a book or something that's something along the lines of kill them all or whatever white supremacy rules. But yeah, that's the thing. And again, you go like, if that's a genuine thing, grow up, who cares?
Yeah.
It's a slogan. Actions speak louder than words. I'm not encouraging people to do more genocide, but like, don't listen to the
genocide.
14 times. Yeah, but it's like, who cares what flag someone's waving or doing that?
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to. Even then, they're not even trying to initiate hatred. They're just saying, by the way, I'm full of hate. Which is like, okay, leave them alone then.
It's so strange how much you can make people care about stupid things.
That's the thing, is why do people care? And I care for people's actions completely.
Yeah.
But I just don't care what people think.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Clowns. Clowns!
Oh, he's got a clown! Yeah.
Why? How do you have this much energy to be angry about this? Go and give that energy
Yeah.
to a charity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to bring up you hating people in the supermarket for wearing
That's
clothes.
personal hatred.
That's a-
Like, you understand that.
I understand it, yeah. But yeah, there's a natural a natural kind of reason to there.
Like,
for some
I
reason.
might feel grossed out or disgusted through my own
You
insecurities.
won't
or
tattoo
whatever,
it on your arm.
but
Come up with a secret flag. I'm a bastard.
I won't march against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's still personal freedoms. It's still clowns.
Send in the clowns. That's a secret code.
Sideshow palms are racist.
He culturally appropriates his palm tree hair. Whatever it is. He's not a palm tree. Yeah, it's people. I think it's people being confused. I used to think it was people being stupid, and it probably still is.
Oh yeah.
But people just trying to find reasons to vent, I guess, instead of looking at themselves.
It's still a competition.
Yeah.
I'm the most woke. I care the most. Clowns.
Yeah. I remember, I think like years ago, probably like 5 years ago, I think I definitely went through this process of started at uni, like starting just to question everything. And it doesn't work well with social relationships with people, because there's a social contract that this is how things are done. So like someone was talking to me, I served Nick Griffin at an event, who's like a BNP politician, apparently famous racist. He apparently referenced 14 words at some point. But yeah, I served him in a restaurant once, and a friend of mine was like, oh, he's the, what was the name of their party? The BNP, sorry.
BNP, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, their manifesto is really racist. So I was like, well, let's download it and look at it.
Let's have a look.
There's no racism in this at all.
And then they go like, oh, but that means this, and that means this.
And you go, oh, you just don't understand. There's all these racism. And it's like, I'm not saying they're not racist.
Yeah.
I'm saying that this book isn't racist.
This isn't racist, yeah.
At the time. And people, it's that common sense thing. I think that's the energy. Is like, oh, what, you don't know that Pepe the Frog's a racist. And even but the thing is, even broadcasters and journalists are using this information. You're like, whoa, it's one thing for idiots to confuse this thing and to talk about something strange.
Yeah.
But this is your career.
Yeah.
That you're like, this frog is a symbol of racism.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No, you don't know that Pepe the Frog's racist. I don't know who Pepe the Frog fucking is.
It doesn't exist. You're saying racism doesn't exist? I mean, there's so many ways different to spin it. What's next after clowns?
It's claiming knowledge over shit like that. I know that this is racist. No, you think it's racist.
I'm a great singer. You just don't recognise that. Okay.
All right.
Just don't sing to me then, please.
It's fine. We don't want you to sing. We want you to juggle. Here's your wig. Fuck off.
Go juggle those racist balls. And another thing I got emailed, which is very serious, but it's kind of funny.
It's a theme. It's an ongoing theme.
France. But I'm gonna sum it up. France basically introduced a new law where you can't promote things on Twitter or social media unless you can prove that it's not been promoted or it's not being paid for or it's not something like that. So to kind of fight corruption. Okay. Basically, is my understanding of the situation. I could be wrong. This has resulted a few months later in the French government being banned from Twitter because they were trying to promote like the next election, and they were like, well, we can't find out where all this, they won't declare where the money's coming from. And Twitter's like, that's so much more editing and work we have to do.
Yeah.
So for now, just don't use us.
Ban France.
It'll just be easier. But yeah, it's
clowns anyway.
It's that whole argument of, it's never a good idea to limit freedom of speech because it will result in all of this nonsense.
Yes,
is the kind of moral of that story. That's kind of a bit branded around to the like, we don't want any fake news or anything like that. It's like, well, okay,
I believe in freedom of speech to a point.
Yeah, and you're like, well, just say whatever you want. It's
then
fine.
You don't.
Yeah, and then as soon as you try and legislate that and regulate it, you're like, this is an impossible thing to do.
Yeah.
So it just kind of falls back in their face. But always appreciating the emails and stuff like that. It's always fun. As you say, we just want to conversation with a few more people. And French government getting blocked by Twitter seems pulling teeth way. I think that's quite. Yeah. In other news, though, are you a squeamish person?
Not really. No. Weirdly, the only thing I get squeamish about is like seeing people fall in a way that kind of
looks painful,
grazes them. I don't mind impacts and stuff, but like skin, knees and shit. Yeah. I get that whole kind of thing. It sends a shiver through me.
Yeah. I used to get it with motorcycle crashes when I was riding motorbikes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just can't, it's not fun for me anymore.
Yeah.
I can totally put myself on that road. And I'm like, oh, no, it feels bad.
Yeah,
but other than that, I'm
But
pretty
no, I'm not
clean.
bothered about blood or anything like that. I'd rather. It's like I think squeamish is quite a charged word. Like I'd rather not watch someone bleeding or squeezing spots or stuff, but it doesn't freak me out.
Yeah. There's people who get enjoyment out of that.
Yeah,
and that's not like the opposite of squeamish.
I've got a friend. She's a nurse, and she posts videos of people squeezing spots and stuff to her nurse friends, but just puts it on her Facebook, and they're all like freaking out. It's like, oh, that's a great one. It's like, this is weird.
I had a weird experience. I used to get because when I was a waiter, I'd always get like ingrown toenails. I used to get it done quite regularly. I said quite once a year or something. And the woman who did it at this clinic like was very much an enjoyer of pulling out nails. So it was like quite strange to see her like get that kind of satisfaction out of like just ripping bone out of my skin or whatever it is. Just like, this is strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's a level of OCD. Well, it's not OCD.
No.
But it's the same kind of enjoyment, I think. There's that serotonin release
It's
they
like
must
you were
get.
saying about the guy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't explain for the audio listeners, was just all fingers on both hands.
True, yeah.
Just touching.
Yeah.
You just touched, like Mr. Burns, excellent. It's just that. And you'd be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fair enough. There's just something that happened in his body that went, that's what success looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. But yeah, in Taiwan, a woman named He took herself... Yeah, I had to do a lot of editing to make it make sense. It's her surname.
Right.
Her surname is He. Took herself to hospital this week complaining of a swollen eye, and she thought it was just an infection. She was filled with bees.
Like the mummy, just...
Yeah, there were just bees in her eyes.
Oh.
They're called sweat bees. And they just, like, she was... well, I'll read through it, but they basically feast on the tears of the living. I guess the salt in sweat and tears gives nutrients to some things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But she had 4 bees in her eye.
Ugh.
Like, that's pretty fucked up.
How long did it take her to figure it out?
She didn't. She went to the doctors and they were like...
Just looking around the room like, you see bees?
I kind of want to, just sniff some flowers or something.
Can you
Move
hear it?
these flowers over here.
Yeah.
My pollinating stuff instead.
In her eyes.
4 bees under her eyelids feasting on her tears. He's eyesight, the woman's, and the lives of the bees were saved by the fact that she hadn't rubbed her eyes.
Oh, as long as the bees lived. What?
Yeah, the small bees known as Halictidae or sweat bees are attracted to human perspiration and are found all over the world. They're not aggressive and sting only if they're touched. Hung told the press conference that sweat bees commonly nest in the mountains and on graves, which explained how they came into contact with He.
Graves?
Graves. The grieving, I guess. Corpses don't sweat that much, I don't think. But people cry and then the bees come.
I love evolution. Like, just...
Part of their design is they hang around the mourners. Quick, guy. No, wait until they really cry. Then we're going to get some good
It's really sad,
tears.
isn't it? It's really sad. Have a tissue.
Live in their eye.
Oh,
yeah,
let it all out. Let it...
Work through it. I need to feed my family.
Yeah.
4 bees are living in your eyes. In other news, 13 worshippers have been killed and 16 injured at the start of an Easter service when the church collapsed.
Okay.
Just... I don't know.
He is risen.
Exactly. He is faulty foundations. Just people died during a church service praising Jesus.
Yeah.
What I mean, I do believe in signs, not paranormal signs, but signs in the same reason I believe in ghosts. Right? They're not, they're not extraterrestrial. They're not outside of yourself. Like if I saw a ghost, you wouldn't see it. Is my claim. And all it is just your in my experience, just your subconscious envisioning something. And it's your subconscious trying to communicate with you something. So, for example, I saw an image of my uncle at his funeral, which he shouldn't have been at.
Get out.
But it was part of my grieving process. It was just like, as I was there in the funeral, kind of look to the side, I can see in my mind's eye the image of somebody. Right. I don't believe that it's, it's not really there. It's my subconscious working through what's going on. It's like, I would like to see my uncle now.
That makes
sense. There you go.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's the same with signs. Like, if you, this way, I always flip a coin if I have to choose between two things.
Yeah.
But I don't always rely on the coin's result. I rely on my reaction to the coin's result. Should I go left or right? Flip the coin. Coin says left. That doesn't feel right. Okay, I'll go right.
Right. Okay.
It's just...
It's meaningless.
No. But my reaction to the result is the interpretation. Where it's like, yep, good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's what my subconscious wanted me to do, so let's go and do it. I mean, if you believe in an almighty God that you're trying to believe in and he crushes you with rocks while you sleep, which I don't understand.
They were asleep?
Yeah. It wasn't a very good service.
A monastery?
No. It was. I think it was during a storm. So I think they were refuging in the storm, in the church during the storm. Yeah. Like the Ark or something like that. I know nothing about religion and I don't care.
Yeah.
But every time I talk about it, it's always really negative. Generally don't care, but there's something funny to me in believing, in belief. In anything. Because I question everything in my brain.
Yeah.
Not because I'm clever. Just because it's just, I grew up with people telling me absolutes all the time. And I just learnt not to trust that.
Yeah.
And so you just go, but there's a 50% chance you're completely wrong. And most people cannot deal with that. If there's any element that they could be wrong, it's like, no, gravity exists. I go, okay, that's what you believe, right? Yeah. Okay, then. You believe that. It doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah.
It might not be real. It might be wrong. No. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Who cares? If you believe that nothing's entirely absolute in the real world. Yeah. Like stuff like science and maths. And when I talk about that, I mean like the hypothetical thought process of it. A triangle will absolutely always have three sides, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's a hypothetical parameter constructed idea.
Yeah.
It, by definition, is what it is.
It's the rule that we've made.
Yeah. So you can understand that there's an absolutism to that. Yeah. But not like what colours the sky. You're like, well, it's opinion, really.
Yeah. At the minute, it's blue.
Mate, what kind of blue? Whatever. Yeah. It's just it's all nonsense. It's just people think they land on stuff like this is how it is.
Yeah.
And then you go like, you should feed your dog every day. You go, I believe that. But there's some people who might not feed their dog every day. They might do it every other day. They might do it twice a day. They might do whatever. And you go, yeah, it's what I believe. You should feed your dog every day or twice a day. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a better way to do things. And people just go like, no, you can't. So I've raised a lot of absolute stuff that turned out to be nonsense. So I'm just like very questionable when it comes to everything. So the absolute belief in stuff I'm always finding really interesting. But it's such a touchy as in I come across quite loud and confident about whatever I'm talking about. Yeah. Even though I'm just like, I don't know anything. But why are you the way you are?
I think a lot of people are so confident in the way they feel because they surround themselves within a community that doesn't question them.
Well, take Stephen Fry. Yeah. Last week we mentioned that a friend of ours. I remembered what it was now, where it was, and everything. It was a memory that I didn't have at hand. Yeah. But yeah, there was a friend who of ours who found out that I didn't like Stephen Fry, at least at the time, and he was baffled by it. He's like, "Well, how?" And that's the same thing of just like in his world, Stephen Fry is brilliant, and the people he probably talks to, they're all like, "Stephen Fry's brilliant," and I'm just like, I just don't like him. It's fine, at least at the time. This is not my it's not my go-to thing.
Why does it matter to you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just that makes them question something that they're not used to questioning.
Yeah.
The same with like music and dating, as we talked before. Just as you get older, who you were when you were 13 is different to when you're 18, 21, 27, 30. Yeah. So it's just like you should always be in a state of constantly trying to question new things and old things and the like. So yeah, when it comes to religion, I just get fascinated because it just interested in. I don't care about the religion itself, just people's relationship with their own belief. I was like, so what? What do you think? Not what's the answer? Just like, why are you this way? What's the benefits? What's the negatives?
Yeah.
How's this? How's that? I mean, I've prayed before, but never to a god.
Yeah.
Or never for the purposes of prayer. Well, not for the purposes of communicating or trying to do anything. So I can understand people who pray because I can understand releasing that inner monologue to come out, and then you finally anthropomorphize. You might do. That's when you turn it into an animal, isn't it? No, it's when you turn an animal or a thing into someone.
Yes.
So, was that the Philosopher's Stone?
I've never seen Harry Potter.
No, it's a thing. The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, right. Okay.
Turned lead into gold, and he went mental.
I don't know.
The guy trying to create it or something.
I've no idea.
Yeah, it's like an old fable of like someone was trying to make it's a very scientific podcast. He was trying to create something that would turn shit into gold, basically.
Yeah.
And like either he succeeded and it turned him insane, like the Midas's touch or whatever.
Right.
Or the constant search for it made him go insane or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, 13 dead, one 11-year-old. So much nosedive.
Yeah.
It also thought that some people were sleeping at the church when the wall caved in. They were sleeping in the structure when there was heavy wind and rain, and that's when the building collapsed.
Imagine being so indifferent to your own guests that you'd destroy your own house to get rid of them.
It's just so interesting. And yeah, it's not a criticism at all or a judgment, because you shouldn't judge unless you're judging me.
Yeah.
Which is apparently impossible to... Which is, I think someone pointed out, that's a judgmental statement.
Yeah.
Anyway, in other news... In other news, a Canadian family drove home from Florida with their father's dead body in their car.
Why?
To avoid the US Health Service. They get free health cover in Canada.
Health cover
for the dead
guy.
Make him better, eh?
Maybe they can fix him. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're dead in America, it's more difficult than if you're dead in Canada.
But you still have to deal with the body. Like someone's got to get paid for that.
Transport it. It's got to be transported probably in like a health certified
Someone's
container.
died, and you're looking at the list of bills as though like you're doing up your house and be like, well, we could do that bit.
We're out of traveller's check. I really want to go to a Wendy's first.
Yeah.
But yeah, just put him in the back seat.
Yeah. We can embalm him. We've got moisturiser.
Just drive him with your dead dad. Tell me if you want us to change the channel.
Yeah. Weekend at Dad's.
Roll down the window, please. Dad's beginning to decompose.
Like you've only got a certain window to get him over the border before he's permanently in a seated position.
Yeah, well,
unless he's like lying down in the
2
back.
days he was in the car.
Yeah,
that seems like a long time to go from Florida, which is quite a warm place for the dead, into Quebec. They just drove there with the dead body in the seat. He died of a heart attack during a holiday. Border control agents called an ambulance after stopping the family at the crossing, but paramedics said he'd been dead for at least 2 days. What the fuck do you want me to do? Clear. No. He's dead.
Clearly dead.
Do you have anything to declare? He was a good dad. What? Trying to smuggle your dead relatives back into your country again. Yeah, they said that the high cost of American healthcare prompted them to head home to Ormstown, a town 9 miles north of the border. So it was only like 9 miles away.
Yeah.
So, but why did they wait 2 days?
The thing is,
we're in Florida. We've got to go to Disneyland.
I just don't think you've got a choice. Like I had a relative that died overseas, and it was just like, it's not convenient, but you've just got to deal with it.
Yeah, it's just you have to deal with a lot of other things around that as well.
Yeah.
So transport, whatever. Yeah. I guess you could argue it's one less thing to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. Just that I'd find that pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
To be driving around with a dead family member in your car, trying to pass him off as just asleep.
Yeah.
But I think it would be better and healthier if that wasn't traumatic for you.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Another article. Time travel is something that you only thought was possible in sci-fi movies or novels, but it's actually real. Maybe. At least that's what one man from Slovenia is claiming, so it's another time traveller. I don't understand. There's a few of these that pop up. And like, I've got a postcard from 2075. Why? What is? I need proof that I've gone to the future. A postcard. All right. That's proof.
That'll prove it. That'll convince everybody.
Yeah.
As though there aren't 1,000 of them at the seaside.
And then just I don't know. It's the level of unaware craziness. Like when someone's got emotionally attached to something that they shouldn't. Say like a bad relationship or a bad TV series. Like House of Cards.
Yeah.
You know, like the first, I can't remember how many they were. First 4 seasons I remember being really good. And then the penultimate season was like, this is getting a bit off. Yeah. And then we're like, we're just going to carry it on without Kevin Spacey. It was like, now this is weird. This is a different show.
Yeah.
This is strange, but they kind of wanted to prove a point. But any House of Clans, I've got in arguments because I haven't finished watching the last season because it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, well, for me, again, opinion, just like I didn't like it at all. Like, well, you're not even a real House of Cards fan. No, I am, just not of the shit episodes.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, delusion. That's what I'm thinking about. So especially when they go, oh, I've gone to the future. Where did he go? The 45th century. Why not? If you're gonna go, to the future, why not go 24 centuries to the future? Why not? Which would be the 5th millennium, and somewhere between the years 4,000 and 5,000. He didn't know when.
If you can travel through time, like, and I'm pretty sure most people would feel like this, you wouldn't tell anyone.
But he did. So you're proven wrong.
Because he did travel through time. Yeah.
Well, why would you? I just don't understand. It's the same.
Tell anyone. You'd become public enemy number one.
Well, you just get
the
proof.
Whole world would be after you.
Or you could just get proof, genuine proof. Oh no, I can't, because when I come back, I can't take my clothes with me. I can't take anything back. Like, okay, but you've experienced time in a straight line anyway still, so you're older than when you left. So that means you're going to be older now because you spent some time in an alternate timeline in the future. You've come back, you still existed for 30 days instead of 10. So you're 20. Prove it. It's so much proof available for it. He claims that he did start building his time machine, which isn't a DeLorean, 8 years ago. He gets that comment so much that people were like, no, I'm not.
Did he say that?
I think so.
All right.
And has met many other time travelers around the globe who helped him build his device.
There's many of them.
So many time travelers.
And the world is okay.
Yeah. Again, if there was a time con, Trent, I'd go to. Meet these interesting people.
Which century did you go to?
His journey, the one man called Jacques Lion Cousteau, who's French, he's been blocked on Twitter.
Mr. Cousteau.
Had only time travelled 40 times.
Oh, amateur.
Yeah. Our main protagonist, the Slovenian, goes by the name David.
Ooh.
There are some who call me Dave. One particular, David says that the machine can cause a lot of pain to his body and once left him with a wound on his head. Sounds like you fell over.
Yeah. Sounds like head trauma.
Another problem is that his machine only allows him to travel into the future. So how are you here? I can only go forward. Well, how did you come back? I turned around. What? No.
At
Obvious
some point,
flaw.
you left your family behind.
Yeah, I travelled so far in the future that I came back around. Wasn't that the same?
I travelled
here
back to meet you and tell you that time travel's real, and now I'm going to keep going forward, and I'll see you there.
Yeah. Isn't we all travel forward?
I'm going to travel forward in time until tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I need to rest every day. The first travelling with his machine lasted 20 seconds. But then I started to prolong
20
the time. It
seconds?
travelled to the what was it? The 5th century, something like that. There's a term for it. Millennium. The 5th millennium for 20 seconds. Came back.
You can't come back.
Well, he can.
Time
he says he
is an
can't.
infinite loop. You have to
Yeah.
you go.
So that's
keep
the same
going
as coming
forward,
back.
and then dinosaurs, and then
Yeah. Oh, it's
you're
just
back
stressful.
here again.
20 seconds in dinosaur land, 20
Yeah.
seconds in the Normans.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw many interesting things. I even saw the aliens, which lives inside of us.
Okay.
I communicated with the future people. I too much wanted to bring all the facts, but I understand my invention could bring harm and evil. So you're broadcasting that you've got the machine,
Yeah.
but you're not telling anybody because
Yeah.
it could be evil, but you're telling everybody.
Why don't you tell people?
Make
well,
up your mind.
harm and evil. Yeah.
Yeah, mainly.
Harm and evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly harm.
20
and
seconds in the hands of one could be all right. 20 seconds in the hands of another could be catastrophic.
evil. Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't travel through time. I don't think I'd be bothered.
No. That reminds
Same
me.
with like
actually,
traveling.
I had my first experience with a proper fucking nutcase last week.
Okay.
So I was out filming a local event, out and about all day.
You'll find them there.
Yeah. with the camera, which the rig that scares you, that you think's
yeah.
a bit too Terminator.
It's got its own artificial intelligence built in.
Yeah, for anybody who knows camera stuff, it's a Ronin S, and it freaks Nick out.
I just don't trust it. It moves on its own. You can like press a button and it finds the nearest mate. You're like, what?
So I was filming that, and this guy came up to me, nice Polish guy, sort of middle aged, and was asking about the camera stuff, and just showed him what I did, and he was really happy with it and everything like that. I will point out that like at no point was the exchange unpleasant.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, but he was crazy. He said, "So what kind of pictures do you take with this?" He's like, "Oh, well, I'm just out shooting the event today." He's like, "Oh, do you ever take pictures of chemtrails?" It's like,
All right.
I don't know. I this is the first time I'd heard the term. I didn't know what the fuck a chemtrail was. So
Right.
a chemtrail is apparently this massive conspiracy that airplanes and stuff, it's not condensation coming out the back of us, it's spewing all these chemicals over us to keep us docile and stop us overpopulating and breeding and stuff.
Yeah.
Mind control.
Social and government control.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is something that definitely did happen. Like
Yeah.
it was a war tactic used in the Vietnam War.
Right, yeah.
promote rainfall.
Because it was something that came out in a paper in the 90s or something like
Right.
that the government were doing during warfare with another country or something.
Yeah, there
like
was something about the Vietnam War. They did fly over, dropping like something,
physically dropping things.
physically
not
dropping
like-
stuff.
Yeah.
In order to promote weather change,
Yeah.
to make it like wetter or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think like people say, oh, well, the government did do it.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense. There's fluoride in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Flint still doesn't have any clean. It's a weird situation.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was that much in the UK,
Yeah.
but the internet, I guess.
It's like, and he approached it as being like, oh, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people taking chemtrails, taking pictures of chemtrails with this kind of stuff. It was like, oh, okay, what's,
Yeah.
no, I don't really do that. And then he took his phone out and started sifting through thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures of chemtrails that he's got on
Of
his
the
phone.
sky.
It was like, oh, so when you said, I see people taking pictures, you meant you. You take pictures of chemtrails, of the sky, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
of planes and things. And he's like, and he's pointing out, he's like, oh, a lot of people think this is, think this is harmless and stuff. And then he starts going through the physics of how condensation works. And it's just like, I know you're wrong, but I don't want to tell you. I'm just going to let this whole fantasy roll out. And then he starts pointing at the aerials on top of the roofs around about, because there's
Right.
like mobile masts, and they've shrunk them down and started putting them on chimneys and things
Right.
around town. So you can see it, like it's just for mobile phones. He's like, and then he's like, are you scared of 5G? Like, like I've got 4G. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not scared of it.
Fucking with the
it's-
bees. They're
it's-
hiding in people's eyes.
It's convenient. I wouldn't call it fear. And then he starts saying like, oh, how the aerials they were put in place by government operatives in order to condense all of these chemicals that have been spewed into the air, which is why in midsummer it hails. I've never seen it, but apparently midsummer it hails. And then he starts going on about weather control. Smash cut 5 minutes later, 9/11 comes into it. It's like, wow. So you're just like, fully in this fucking world.
I wish my business would snowball like you snowball.
Like I've never met anyone like this. And at some point in the conversation, his son came over, like, and his son was like my age, and he looked at his dad and looked at me and was just like, I'm going over here, because he'd seen this a lot.
Yeah, he was used to this kind of behavior.
Yeah. And it's just like, I'm going to go get some food. Okay. So, yeah. And then at the end of the day, like, it was a really interesting conversation with an absolute nutcase, and I had no ill feelings towards him whatsoever. It was a pleasant exchange.
Yeah.
But I've never actually been, it's like, I don't know. Like, if it's like being at the beach and seeing a shark's fin. It's like, oh, they actually do exist. Like, that kind of thing. Like, I've never...
Oh, I'm having a cardiac arrest.
The things that you only hear about and see on TV, just like, there's not actually people like that.
Yeah.
And even when you see them being interviewed by other people, you're just like, yeah, but that's just that one guy. It's like,
that's how I felt about that owl that picked up that dog. I was like...
And then you met the owl.
Yeah, I met an owl. And I was like, could they do this? She was like, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I thought it was just silliness, but okay. I guess I'll fear the owls.
Yeah. But do owls play golf?
yeah. You never seen a golfing owl? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, sorry, yes. The video's on YouTube.
The video's on YouTube. Go
I don't
watch
know
it.
what to classify it as. It's I don't know, random shit. I don't know. It's weird. It was yeah. That's all the news articles. For me this week.
But yeah, that was him. Like, I'd never really known about conspiracy theorists before. Like, of being, I don't know, local.
Yeah. You'd expect them more in small towns, I guess.
When there's not a lot to do.
Because I'd always get that, what is it, Hasidic Jews. Again, religion. But there's a lot of people in Stoke-on-Trent who are absolutely fascinated by Hasidic Jews.
Really?
They'd like stare at them in the street because they'd be like, we ain't never seen these before.
Oh,
that's a weird Stoke accent.
That's very strange.
It's a weird Cornish blend.
But you're from London, and obviously
there's just everyone.
There's areas of London where there's a big concentrations of Hasidic Jewish people. The same in Manchester as well, actually. I think in
just communities.
Like I said, but it's the same in Stoke. We've got certain cultures in all quarters of Stoke and they all tend to live in the same kind of area.
Yeah,
there's not really a melting pot. It's just you go here and we go here and we go here, and it's just how communities work.
I think at uni there's a big fear of Polish people.
Yeah,
just
which
because
I don't get.
Stoke is where we.
What Crewe they call the Polish capital of Britain.
Yeah, just because there's a large Polish community there.
Yeah, man, they come over here and they work.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like,
again, it's that thing to be like, oh yeah, but it's a problem, right? You're like, no, just people are people. It's fine.
I never understood that argument. It's like, oh, they're taking all our jobs. It's like, they're not taking a job that you want. If you wanted it, you'd be doing it.
Well, again, it's the same thing with like, oh, women drivers, oh, boy racers. It's just a weird it's an attempt to try and vent poisonous emotion out of you.
Yeah.
And they just reach for whatever is culture. Like, the amount of people go, oh, I fucking hate PC culture. You're like, yeah. I mean, the people who use it badly, there are bad people within all communities.
I just hate twats.
Yeah.
I think
I saw you comment on something and someone replied by calling you a prick.
Did they?
Yeah. It was something about pollution.
Oh.
You commented on something. It just came up in my feed, I think today, and it was like
I didn't see a response.
Yeah, someone replied to it, and he was like, you mug. But yeah, it was obviously a stupid argument. It was like, someone was basically saying we don't need to deal with pollution because we're one of the lower polluters.
There's a guy. There's a guy that's running for a local election somewhere, and he said he took a picture of a guy that was protesting plastics, and he said, I think that it would be a good idea to ban single-use plastics, like full stop, full on ban.
Yeah.
And then loads of people were like, yeah, great. And then some of them, like, the weird response against it was, well, actually, the UK is one of the least polluting of single-use plastics. And then the guy I commented on posted a map, like a color-coded map of the world showing which countries polluted the most, Like, and China was like black, and
Yeah,
we
it
were
was
just
like the
like
biggest
kind
offender.
of a beigey kind of yellowy kind of thing. We looked like a chip.
Yeah.
And as though that's a reason why you shouldn't be doing it. And my response to it was, well, we don't have the highest murder rate in the world. Does that mean that we shouldn't try and reduce the amount of murders that we have in our country?
Yeah, and he said,
I haven't seen his
agree.
response.
I don't think you should tackle murders as much. And he was like, are you trolling, or are you this short-sighted and stupid? Something along those lines.
It's always
was the reply.
It's always that. It's always
Just
like, look how stupid you are. It's
Yeah.
like, but argue. Like, what's your argument?
Yeah, and obviously you go like, yes, you should tackle every problem, but the amount of resources you allocate it to it will be in order of importance. So
Yeah.
you could argue if the murder rate is higher in the UK than the pollution rate, more money should go to the murder rate than the pollution rate.
Yeah.
It's not a case of one or the other.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, I mean, was he saying let's increase murders and reduce plastic
It's
waste?
just like, just because there's terrible people in the world doesn't mean you shouldn't try and be better.
Yeah, but how much energy you should put into other people if everyone is terrible, then you go like, you will put less resources into that and more into home fittings. I want a Dalek bath, or whatever people want. There was a Dalek at Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for him.
So that guy goes to most of the cons.
The Dalek.
And the weird thing is, it's usually the same guy in a suit, and every now and again he'll take a break. But you never see him leave the suit or anything like that. It's just sometimes you'll go up to it and it doesn't respond to you. And this, and it rolls around, and always about maybe like 10 feet away, it's got a handler, which is a woman, which I'm assuming is his wife, with like, and she's just carrying like a little bottle of water and trying to stay out of the way. But like just keeping an eye out, making sure he doesn't roll into some stairs or something.
Yeah. Keep an eye on what's behind him.
Yeah.
Don't trip into a TARDIS or something.
It's interesting. Buy a suit. That's your career.
Well, one of the things that was there was just cars.
Yeah, famous cars.
Well, one was just a car. Like, it was called a Bond car. So like, oh, was this in one of the Bond films? He was like, no.
No,
it's just a Robin Reliant. And it's just rare. Okay. I was just trying to... Is funny? Is there funny? Don't know. There was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer car.
From Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, I didn't understand. It's just a Jeep that's in the series. It went along with I think a Buffy tribute act. which was interesting. I did interview them, but I wasn't sure. Just time constraints, so I wasn't sure how to fit it in. But yeah, they had like a bazooka that was used and signed by people in the episode. So it was like
bazooka.
And a rifle. The props from the film, or like impersonations of the film, which was more so than just a Robin Reliant. And the other one was just a Mustang.
Wait, a Robin Reliant is like the Del Boy
three-wheeled cars, yeah. But this was just an orange Robin Reliant. It had Bond, something to do with Bond. I thought it was a film. I thought was it in a Bond film? Don't remember this.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay. Then there was one of the cars from Cars, just a blue car with a light on it. There was a Jurassic Park car. Jurassic Park
the
car.
Jeep.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Okay, well that's quite an iconic movie
sense.
vehicle. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then there was the DeLorean.
Did they have the A-Team van? They've usually got that.
I don't know. There was a green van. And I thought, this feels like this was transporting things, but it might well have been an actual thing.
Nah, the A-Team one's a black van.
Yeah.
Just a black van. Oh, with an orange stripe down the side of it.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that one. But yeah, it just felt like, oh, okay, you just bring your car, look at the cars.
Yeah, yeah.
But one was, I believe, just a Mustang. I don't know anything about cars. But I was like, it's just a car? You've just parked here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free parking if you've got a nice car.
An interesting car that people will look in and get
You can
inside.
park right in the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting career choices. Well,
buy a
things to do in
car.
your spare
That's your
time.
career.
Yeah.
Like it's an investment.
I guess
It's
if
an
you love it,
investment,
then you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me this week.
Yeah. All right, just a quick one of these.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
I'll put the video in. It's funnier.
Cool. Yeah. So just staring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a court in England that convenes so rarely, the last time it convened, it had to rule on whether it still existed.
Are we all here? Yes. No. Are we, though? Yeah, I think so.
But morally, should we be?
Do we exist?
Dude, it's like Saturday afternoon.
I've got places
What do you
to
want
be.
from this? I'm sorry you're having an existential judicial crisis.
Yeah.
But
they're effective, if anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guilty. Am I? Oh.
I've sentenced myself to death. Yeah, I think it's a common theme. I mean, we're guilty of it as well. I've recognised, and I'm trying to pick up the slack in that regard, of like having a plan and organising it, and then we just forget, and then it's like, oh wait, weren't we going to do something?
Yeah.
Wasn't this going to happen? And then we're like, yeah, but we just kind of both just forgot.
Yeah.
And then it's just, one, it's a bad personality trait we share anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it's weird for an organised court to do that in the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah. Maybe if we don't go, it just ceases to be.
Yeah. Maybe everyone's innocent. We'll see. This will be fine.
Yeah. Radithor was an energy drink sold in the 1920s that claimed it provided energy that cured a host of ailments, including impotence. The ingredients were water and radium, and it slowly killed people.
Well, you're living a more condensed life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. You have
Yeah.
less arms than the last time I saw you.
I'm pretty sure this isn't rumour. I'm pretty sure this is fact that Coca-Cola originally had cocaine
Coke
in it.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine competing with Coca-Cola and being like, instead of energizing you,
Yeah.
we'll just radiate you.
Yeah. Cures everything. Cures everything. What? Blank slate.
Life cures life.
Yeah.
If you're a court, you won't exist.
Yeah.
It'll just be finished. Just this water's a bit bland. Is there anything we can put in it? Yeah, radium.
No flavouring, no.
Yeah, just
Nothing.
pure radium. Drink that.
Not even a sweetener. Just yeah, it's what it is.
It's a bit tart.
In warmer climates, many tortoises are kept in refrigerators to artificially hibernate over the winter.
Okay. Right, because they need to hibernate still.
I guess they need to, yeah.
And they hibernate based on the temperature,
Yeah.
knowing it's winter or not,
Yeah.
maybe.
So you just shove it in the fridge so it goes to sleep.
You alright, Clive? Shh.
You're gonna
Sleeping.
wake Clive.
Yeah.
Just like nothing that clanks. There's no bottles in the fridge over winter.
Never understood turtles, like, as pets. There's loads of pets I don't get, though. Like, I never understood hamsters. I had a hamster briefly.
Yeah, I had
It didn't die.
The hamsters-
A friend was like, I'll have it because I don't think you're responsible enough. It's like, okay. Probably right.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I mean, I know you've had different, like, parrots and stuff like that. I don't understand.
I wanted a bird at some point, and now that I'm older, I'm glad I didn't get one.
Yeah.
Because it would still be alive, and there's potential it could be incredibly
Podcasts
annoying.
would be more difficult to record.
Really, and and apparently you never know what kind of bird you're gonna get. Like, you can't really train them.
Yeah.
Like, they can learn to do things, but you can't train personality traits out of them. Like you can
Right.
with a dog. If a dog's doing
Alcoholic.
got an annoying behaviour, you can generally calm it
Yeah.
in some way. But if a bird wants to be loud all the time, it just will be. And
I'm
there's
just a
nothing you
loud
can do
bird.
about it. Yeah.
I guess it's a mothering thing. I guess. And I don't mean that. There's another term for it, but when you just enjoy looking after things, it's probably a better term for it. But yeah, I've never understood that aspect of pets at all. In terms of like fish, I had a fish, but it was like, yeah, it was an element of responsibility.
I kept fish for a
that
long
was
time,
kind
and I
of it.
probably would do it again. But with fish, it's about fish. I think keeping fish is like gardening. It's less. It's more about maintaining an environment.
Yeah.
I think.
And can you do that with a bird?
No, I don't think so. Like, you'd have to...
you
Plus,
see-
I don't like keeping a bird in a little cage.
Did you see they put mice into space?
No.
Yeah, they sent mice into space.
Just in a tiny little rocket.
I guess so.
Did they give him, like, tiny mouse spacesuits?
There was like 4 of them in a cage, like a normal mouse
Just-
cage, rat cage, whatever.
Shove a boost on the bottom of it.
But they said
What
it
are we
was,
trying to prove?
they're just like, we just want to see what the effects of space travel are on people, and therefore mice or
And therefore
rats
mice.
or whatever. And yeah, they said like everything went fine, and then they just freaked the fuck out.
When it was 0 G. Zero
Yeah,
gravity.
well, I guess there was some gravity involved because basically they just started running around the sides of the cage like a hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and they said they just started doing this. No one knows why. What are they learning? What's happening? So there's some kind of study, but yeah, just fuck it. Put mice in space.
Yeah,
See what
keep
happens.
running, Joey.
We don't
Freaking
want
them
to
the
change
fuck
their
out.
environment. Yeah. Maintain the environment in 0 G.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was space. Maybe it was one of those at 0 G chambers.
I'm
I
assuming
think
it was space. They might have just put them underwater or something. Why are they freaking out?
How do they do those 0 G? Because Stephen Hawking
It's a plane. So you get you put them in a plane,
Is it?
and then, yeah,
I know that they can do that.
you know, there's big military jet things.
Yeah.
It's like that, and then they send the plane up, and then the plane just nosedives, and you're all falling at the same time, so it's like you're floating.
Science.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I thought they'd
like
just be like a
skydiving,
chamber.
but in a plane.
Yeah. Well, I thought that because I did one of those, not flying, but skydiving indoors.
Oh yeah,
Where you
the
just,
big
just
when
jump
you're in a
off
tube.
jump off a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did one of those. Like maybe there's something where they just suck the gravity out. That's NASA.
Physics.
Yeah, science. Yeah.
Science
Didn't realize
news.
we're just
I
gonna
don't-
crash a plane.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. No, it's just like a nosedive. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I mean, I'm guessing when they're doing it filming wise, like that would
So the
be...
pilots are like flying
Would they be
in
strapped
0 G. Oh yeah, but still, your organs and that would be fucking up.
Guess so. Yeah.
You got to do it for Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Scum.
There's there's a disorder. This is more interesting.
Okay.
I don't know
Than
if
what
it's
I was
funny.
talking about.
No.
Thanks.
Than funny.
Okay.
It might be funny. I don't know. There's a disorder called pure word deafness, in which those affected are unable to comprehend spoken language when while reading and writing and speech are preserved. They can recognize non-verbal sounds, just not speech in the auditory modality. So that means they recognize speech and what you're saying to them if it's written, but they don't recognize it when you actually say it. And they can talk.
Deaf people.
It's it's called pure word deafness. So you can talk to them and they
Okay.
don't understand what you're saying, and they can talk back to you.
Okay.
But you have to write down things, otherwise it's just like it's like listen to a foreign language.
They can talk to you.
They can talk to you,
So they can
that's
hear
why
their
it's
own
a disorder.
words.
So they understand
Yeah,
language.
right, okay.
It's a cut off somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, but yeah. Yeah, that is interesting.
This is interesting, but it's not like QI, like it's like not that thing that you
Yeah,
hate.
yeah. No, I saw there was an I need to find it again. But there was like it was a Facebook post and it was like, I'm not dyslexic, you're dyslexic. And it was just like a joke post of like how it could easily be misinterpreted, this sign. But I immediately read it as what it wasn't. So it was almost
You're
like
not dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. What?
Okay. Okay, now I am. But yeah, it was one of those things. It's like there's a pyramid of words and it's a statement. And the trick is, or the parlor trick is like your brain automatically removes erroneous words to make sense. So it's
Right,
like
yeah.
something famous thing. It's got like the in it. And your brain filters out
you miss
the
it.
second
Yeah.
that you just go, no, don't need that. It's like, so I imagine there's a lot of stuff your brain does to get to sift through all the data you're being given,
Yeah.
and kind of throw it away. I had a thing earlier this week, which isn't a disorder, but it's I think it's maybe a bit more explaining about the way I think about things. I never freeze in real life situations. As in, I've never really been a deer in the headlights kind of guy. Because I think my brain I've just gotten used to trying to figure things out very quickly. I was going to bed last night, and as I opened the door from my living room, the front door was wide open. I never opened it. Just happened to be that a friend of mine was over and let himself in. He was just talking to the taxi briefly as he was bringing stuff in. But as soon as I opened the door and saw that there was a door open, the amount of data that was running through my brain was just like, right, somebody's in the house. They're not downstairs. Somebody's upstairs. I'm going to have to make sure that the dog's been sorted. And I'm going to have to figure out if there's anybody else outside coming in. And all this information went through my mind like very, very quickly, as well as adrenaline start to pump up to get ready to kill someone.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill someone very quick.
Adrian Brody!
But yeah, just that amount of data. My brain, I think, it's not. I like to look for lots of data. I've said before about films, television, if there's or art or whatever it is, music, I like to try and drink all the information in and process it. Whereas I think, I guess that's what a deer in the headlights is. You there's so much information coming at you that you freeze. Yeah. That you don't act. You're kind of not sure what to do. And I've had that kind of moment where I'm trying to understand something before I act. But yeah, I think my brain doesn't blue screen that quickly in those situations, whereas I think most people don't listen to certain things or filter out different kind of things. But yeah, I went straight from I'm going to bed now because I'm tired to I'm going to kill someone. I think I'm one of those people. As much as I don't want to be rude to people when I'm interviewing people at stuff, I think I would very easily kill somebody.
Yeah. That's one to grow on.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's you could probably kill someone pretty easily. I think it's easier to kill people than people think.
It's easier than you. Yeah. It's easier than you. I think it's easier to kill people than people think it is to knock out people.
Yeah.
I think it's more difficult to knock someone unconscious than it is to kill them.
I mean, say you got in a bar fight. Say you got in a bar fight. My fighting style is WWE, even though I've never really seen it.
Giving people suplexes and
I would pick people up and throw them on the floor. Throw them into a wall. Yeah. You know, not so much like... Yeah, I've got weight and size is my advantage. So like I could get better at punching and kicking. Yeah. But I could just use all my mass just to kind of throw someone through a wall.
And you can absorb.
I pushed someone through a storefront window once.
That's satisfying.
Yeah. I just walked away. I can't remember what he was doing. It was New Year's Day. It was on Oxford Street. I was coming home from work in New Year's Eve or coming back from a party or something, and somebody was harassing me, so I pushed them and they went through a window. They were okay. They came out like, oh, that was weird. So, all right, I'm going to bed. I think just in my brain, you go, if I threw someone into a wall, I reckon they might die. And that's probably true.
Yeah.
Just if you hit it in the wrong way.
Fall over on a curb.
Yeah.
Anything.
And it's that whole that's you now. That's part of your personality.
Yeah.
That you've murdered somebody. Yeah. You deal with it.
Yeah.
Jesus. This is strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that kind of stuff interesting, and how you react to different things and how your brain works. I guess there's a term for that. Is that psychology or psychiatry? I'm a doctor.
Psychology. Probably. Psychiatry is the act of, is the doctoring of it, isn't it?
Yeah, but what's the difference?
Oh wait, psychologist and psychiatrist. I don't know.
There's a difference between the two.
That's weird.
I think psychology might have something to do with sociology. So maybe like psychology of people and psychiatry is like the individual. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a psychiatrist. So a psychiatrist is a doctor. A psychologist is is not an educator, but someone who's learned on a subject of psychology. Yeah,
without the medical degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one's medicinal, one's therapeutic, or sociological. I don't know. Redacted.
Yeah. Tune in next week to find out what a psychologist is.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. I'm at Sing It Steve.
Yeah, I'm at Nick Snip. We're at Pulling Teeth Pod. Facebook page is Pulling Teeth Podcast. Instagram, we still haven't looked into at all.
Yeah.
But maybe we might do. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
we are wisdom@pullandteapodcast.com. Get in touch. Send us shit.
Yeah.
Collaborate.
Yeah. Do more stuff. Have more fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, see you next week.
Yeah. All fun.